Hey everybody, I am Scott Stellman. Welcome to the 7-Day Lead Challenge. What we're going to do is we're going to work through these next 7 days. We're going to give you all sorts of information, have a little fun, tell you some stories, and walk you through some steps to be able to come out the other side and be prepared to start a business moving towards what the ultimate goal is, which for us is to see that you can achieve success online. And what does that mean? Well, we are describing it as the ability to generate passive income and ongoing passive income that replaces your paycheck. Okay? I'll just squeeze that in there. Hopefully you can get it. It replaces your paycheck. Generate ongoing passive income that replaces your paycheck. So we're going to walk you through a number of things today and moving through the coming 7-day challenge. So first of all, I want to tell you a couple of stories. I've had a lot of jobs. I've even had some businesses, and I've had some failures. And the one thing that seems to be fairly consistent is that if you have not positioned yourself to be in ultimate control of your situation, your financial destiny, your life's destiny, then you kind of blow around with, the winds that come, and can't control them. I remember that I got into real estate years ago. I was just young and looking for an opportunity to be able to maybe buy and flip some properties or do, some building and developing. As some of you may or may not know, I grew up, with a father who was a general contractor. My mother was an entrepreneur and educator. But we had a real dip in the economy, and all of a sudden the deals that I was trying to make were gone. And I was back looking for a way to sustain my income. I've worked for companies as you have, and had to deal with the fact that you never really know what's going on and what their financial situation is. And trust me, the owners of the companies, well-meaning as they are going to do what owners will do, and that is protect themselves above the employees. And you're involved in layoffs, and there's all sorts of uncertainty. I later on had a building company that started to expand and do great things. The growth was tremendous. The value of the company was worth tens of millions of dollars. We were expanding we were in 4 states and expanding further. And then the housing market collapsed in 2008, something that I just didn't have control of. And so I needed to do something that wouldn't matter what was happening with the economy. I could make small little incremental shifts and be able to adjust what I was doing to be able to replace my income and not have to worry about things that are completely out of my control. Sure, now and then, even with an online business, there are things that could affect your sales, but the ability at the speed of light practically to be able to adjust and change, to be able to keep your income coming in is what really the internet and online businesses has that you can't get anywhere else. So that's what we are here to help you with, is success online, having success online and generating passive ongoing income. So I want to talk to you about just kind of some of the strategies that we're going to use. We have our first strategy, which we call the startup phase. And really what we're going to be talking about is exactly what you need to be looking at. Do you need a domain name? Do you need a company name? Do you need a corporation, an LLC versus an S corporation? Where do you get online? Do you need a website or a sales funnel or other types of tools? And the answer to all those is yes, but some maybe need to happen before others. Sorry, I'm doing a video and I have a message pop up on my phone, so you may or may not see my message. But we're going to walk through each of the steps of the startup phase to make sure you've got the basic tools. Now, some of this may be a little more advanced for some of you. It's okay. A refresher and making sure that you haven't missed out on something, to understand that sometimes it's better to have multiple domains, and we'll go over that and why. If you are an LLC and you'd be better off as an S Corp, or vice versa, or at what point should you change to a C Corp, all of which would need to have a good discussion with your CPA and your attorney. But we can cover some basics that help you start to think about those things and work at moving in the right direction. So the tactics that we're going to be covering are kind of with this phase, we really call it the what, the why, and the how. And on the tactics side, when we're talking about the what, we're really talking about the passion. And what I mean by that is that so many people choose a business to go into or some direction to go based solely on dollar signs. And that is just not the way to be able to enter a business. What you've got to do is figure out what you're passionate about, because your level of success, your interest, your ability to stick to it, your ability to be motivated to get up in the morning, to spend extra time beyond the hours that you have in a day and so forth, is all going to have to do with how passionate you are about what it is that you want to go after. And that may be a myriad of businesses. You may be interested in travel. You may be interested in surfing. You may be interested in camping. You may be interested in writing books, network marketing. You may be interested in fashion. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, we're going to help you walk through the steps to figure out exactly what you're passionate about, so that you can turn that into what it is that drives you towards this success and achieving that passive income. The why really comes down to the steps, and it's not just the steps about how to choose what you're passionate about or figure out what you're passionate about, but it's about looking at your customers. It's about looking at yourself. It's about looking at an ultimate goal up here. We'll just put a little flag at the top there, which is your results, which is what we're talking about, the success online. And it's about the steps to be able to get through here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. You could have as many as you need to, or as few as are needed, to be able to walk through those steps. And so we're going to cover that in the tactics of specifically, why do we do a certain thing? Why do we make sure that number 1 is done before we move on to number 2, and how it builds on itself? And so we'll cover that in the 7-day challenge as well. And finally, the how. And this is all under tactics. And the how, we're going to talk about why we do things, why we tell stories, why we organize things into a certain way, why we do step 1 before step 2, but how exactly do you go about it? Okay, how do we go about choosing the right domain? How do we go about choosing the right corporate structure? How do I go about, if I'm passionate about multiple things, how do I choose which one I should do? And when I look at this end results, how do I go about achieving those steps? If I get this business started, how am I going to get traffic? If I get this business started, how am I going to come up with products or services or books or whatever it may be that you want to sell and market, that goes along with your passion and the ultimate goal that we have. So we'll walk through the how, exactly how to do it step by step to be able to move you to your goal. There are so many case studies. I know that Lady Boss. If you've ever heard of Lady Boss, just go to ladyboss.com and read about her story. When her and her husband, and I believe it's Brandon and Kaylin Poulin, started, they didn't know anything about the internet and generate money online, but they started following a process like this to be able to see what exactly they should do. And they did kind of a unique thing. Most people will go and watch a video, a tutorial, a training from start to finish, and then they've got all this massive amount of information all at one time, and then they try to go and act, which sometimes that's putting you on overload and you just don't even know where to begin. Well, they did it where they would start watching the training, and as soon as something was asked of them, an assignment for that day or something, they would pause it, they would go and complete that, and then only once they had completed it would they come back and hit play again and start moving forward. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing with the 7-Day Lead Challenge, is that we're going to be walking you through step by step. We're going to give you some instruction, we're going to cover these 4 key areas on a daily basis, and then we're going to give you an assignment to do so that you can actually write it out, follow some questions and some prompts that we have to be able to achieve each day's assignment and be ready for what that builds on, which is day 2. And day 2's assignment will build on day 3. And as we go through, we'll get you prepared and even jump started on your way to starting to see some results. So I'm excited to have you here for the 7-Day Lead Challenge. It's going to be exciting, and we're going to have a lot of good information for you, a lot of great assignments for you, and some great ways for you to be able to achieve those and track them and follow them and save them and be able to see your results by the end of the 7 days. And then we'll still be here beyond that to help you move to the next level. But right now, let's get this going. Let's make it so that you're no longer blown around by the whims of your boss or the economy or whatever may be, and no longer having to deal with a paycheck to paycheck living situation and stressing over money. But we're going to show you the steps necessary to achieve success online and generate ongoing passive income. Welcome to the 7-Day Challenge. We're excited to see you. Look forward to seeing you throughout each day. Have a great day.